Thanks everybody for being here. My name is Cara Romano. I'm the director of Heart of Ellsworth. And today we have our first Zoom at Noon session for the 2022 season. And this year, this program, as well as a few other entrepreneurial ecosystem programs that we do, are being sponsored by Franklin Savings Bank. So just want to let all of you know that we have quite a bit of support in the community for a lot of programs that we are doing. So if anyone is has their, if everyone could put themselves on mute just so that there's not a lot of action in the background, that would be great. Today, we're trying to sort of put out another program for everybody that will hopefully help unify us in some advertising opportunities to sort of attract folks here to downtown Ellsworth. And today we have the Ellsworth American on here that has been incredibly sort of supportive of the downtown with their downtown grouping, and Kelly Cochran is on here, as well as Michael O'Neill from Down East Magazine. Michael has done quite a bit of work in downtown. Leslie Harlow can sort of speak to that at the end of the conversation. Leslie's done a ton of work with Michael over the years, and we're trying to just continue both of these relationships in ways that we are able to sort of help you folks plug yourselves into these opportunities. So Kelly grew up in Ellsworth, and she's done quite a bit of traveling. And after all of that traveling, she's decided that Down East Maine is the best place on earth, which I think all of us sort of agree. We are on here and committed to our community. So you may have seen Kelly not only at the Ellsworth American, but also she has done some time at Cadillac Mountain Sports. She also was part of the Ellsworth Area Chamber of Commerce. And she also has a long history with Heart of Ellsworth and the former Downtown Ellsworth Association. So Kelly has sort of made the rounds within this community. So we're very excited to have Kelly here. And then Michael is a 16-year veteran of the magazine industry. And like I said earlier, Michael's done quite a bit of work in the Ellsworth community, and he actually intimately knows our community because at one point in time, Michael lived in downtown Ellsworth. So he has a lot of history and experience in developing cost-effective ad opportunities, and he has a special interest in trying to frame things up in a compelling way to promote specific regional type of tourism and regional opportunities for advertising. So Michael is currently with Down East Magazine, as I said before, and we're so thankful to have both of you here today during the presentation. So what I'm going to do is, Kelly, since there's a lot of you who are very familiar with the downtown grouping, as you've seen in the local paper, we're going to have Kelly from the Ellsworth American give a sort of a general overview for some of you who are new to the community. And then after that, Michael is going to present from the perspective of Down East Magazine and what it is that they can do. And then we'll have the end there opened up for conversations to hear from you folks about what it is that you would like, questions you want to have asked, and maybe possibly some ideas and direction on how we work together to make this happen. So without further ado, I'm going to pass things over to Kelly. Thank you, Kelly.
I'm going to unmute myself. Thank you. Great to see you all. I'm going to start by introducing Tim Reagan. Tim has joined the Ellsworth American and has met several of you, left promo sheets for folks, and is making the rounds. It's a snowy day, so it might be when the sidewalks are cleared that he does the follow-up again. So I am just really gonna go over, like Cara said, our downtown grouping. I'm gonna share my screen and see how that goes. It went well in the practice. So can you guys see this PDF? Excellent, I have thumbs up. So what we do is we are happy to offer modular pricing. We do groupings, we call them modular groupings. We've done a downtown one. The Ellsworth American has done a downtown one for years, way before I was in the building, back when I was an advertiser. And the program is simple. It is the best pricing we have available. It includes color whenever available. And when I say whenever available, it means that we make sure we have color available 99.9% of the time. There's going to be a time when something comes up printing wise. So what we try to do is for the downtown grouping, we have from Memorial Day through September as a grouping. And then we also offer it at Christmas time. Several of you have been in for these. And then if there's something else going on event-wise, we can do the modular. The limited availability around it is generally that we need to have 3 ads to make this grouping at this pricing, at this commitment. We do need to have 3 in a group. There are very few times when we do just have 3 in a group. Most of the time there are more. Let me show you this next. Weekly rates for this. So one column is 2.5 inches by, you can start at 1.25. Yeah.
Kelly, I think you have to select, we're not seeing the entire, I just realized.
Okay. Sorry.
No, that's
Thank
okay.
you.
Like I said, takes a village. I think we're,
Can you see that?
no, let's see.
It's probably the sharing settings. You might have it as sharing
Let's
just your
share.
desktop or something.
How about now?
No,
No?
can you go,
Stop.
can you go, there you go. I think that was it.
Oh,
Go back to where you just were because it popped up. There we go. We can see
Okay.
what you're saying now.
okay, I'm gonna let Jared in while I'm here.
Oh.
So I just want, this here is the weekly rates. So as you can see, 31.25 is the entry point. I'm gonna put this, and we have follow-up with this as well, but just for folks to see what we're talking about. This is an example from last summer on the page. We try to get page 3 or 5 placement, which for those of you opening up the paper, it's a good spot to be seen. So Memorial Day through September, limited availability means 3 advertisers to make the grouping run. Color available, as available. We try to make it always available. That's one of our in-house goals. We always have tried to tie in some downtown happenings. So whether it's this particular one happens to be the Ellsworth Concert Band, we cycle through different events at Christmas time. There was the Christmas in Ellsworth, all of the activities happening then, we tie in there. The pickle, Find the Pickle was one week. The beauty of it is that it's yours and it can change weekly. So it's not a one and done for the season. If it makes sense for you to be in for a special event, jump in. If it makes sense for you to be in, if this is your place to be seen by 27,000 people weekly in the very beginning of the grouping, and then up to just beyond 30 or last year's numbers as far as readership goes for weekly tie-in.
Kelly, are you, I think, I don't know about everybody else, but I think I'm seeing the rate sheet. I'm wondering if are you referencing an actual example of?
I do have an example. I want you to
Thank
see
you.
the example.
That's okay.
Gosh, my snow day is a struggle. How about this? If I select it, can you see the page in last summer's? Okay, good.
Maybe if you scroll up just a little bit so that I don't know if you can scroll up a little bit, but yes, we are seeing it. There we go. Yeah, I think we can.
Unfortunately, it's defaulting to the smaller of my 2 screens.
Yeah.
So I'm set up for the larger, but we have lots of examples. Happy to bring them around. Really the gist of it, and I'm going to put one more on here now that I have it down before I use all my time. Here's, you see that? The mock-up where there
Yes.
are empty spaces
Yep.
on the page. So really what I was trying to get across is that it changes. It changes with the participants. It changes with the season, you know, beginning of the season, what your messaging is. It has to work for the business. It has to be something that's great for you, whether it is getting your information out to folks as to what to call for takeout or your hours. What else? What am I missing? We did do on a mock-up here, we did the QR code just because I couldn't help myself for your map, for the Heart of Ellsworth map. Having people be able to scan that ahead of time, making Ellsworth, downtown Ellsworth, a destination. So between having it work for you, sizes that's, you know, the cost starts at $31.25 per week. Making it work for downtown. We've done these with other groupings. Blue Hill tends to have one for parts of the season, Winter Harbor. Trenton has in the past as well, but downtown Ellsworth has always been the largest, and we're able to, because there's so much going on, we're able to tie in with those events. So it keeps it relevant for locals to check out each week, as well as a presentation of, oh, what's going on downtown? I've got to get down there for guests. So that's the great part that we see from our readers. So I'm going to leave it there because I don't want to be a hog.
Thank you, Kelly. No, I don't think that, I think that it's perfect. You did a great job of outlining. And I think most of the people on this call are very familiar with it. It is very effective. And we are so lucky to have it in color because it grabs, you know, the readership. It's always very colorful and exciting. So it's great. Thank you, Kelly.
Kara, I was wondering, I saw that there was a co-op that was somewhat outlined by your logo. Was that something that was a co-coordination between the Heart of Ellsworth and the American, the Ellsworth American?
Well, I will tell you, the Ellsworth American just started doing it. I guess it's probably about 4 years ago, maybe. And it was just really a nice nod to us. And we didn't necessarily ask for it. It just happened. And we are incredibly grateful for it because it sort of helps promote the downtown. It helps us with our branding and helps to promote the downtown sort of cohesively. And I actually think it was Chris Crockett who, am I correct, Kelly?
For that first map, it was a carryover from that map that we wanted to,
Yeah, so.
Extremely valuable, just really perfect for your organization, so.
Yeah, we are super lucky. I mean, it is a partnership on that end of things, and we are so fortunate to have that. Great question. Jody?
Yeah, Kelly, I'd like to have that cost sheet again.
Absolutely.
I tried to save it and I didn't get it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
We can send that, and we can send that around to everybody along with sort of a link too. So however is best, Kelly. Happy to do that. All right, Michael, if there's no other questions specifically for Kelly, or we can save questions until last. So however everyone wants to do things, but if Michael wants to start. Oh, it looks like we do have a question. Sarah, I'm assuming it's Sarah. You have your hand raised? Oh.
Yes, I think I don't have my video on because my children are being unruly, but my question is, will the heading for the grouping always be Heart of Ellsworth at the top of the grouping for downtown Ellsworth?
I don't know.
Or do those two things coincide? Like, does Heart of Ellsworth always get the top billing spot? Because basically it looks like Heart of Ellsworth is sponsoring the grouping and, you know what I mean, of the advertisement. So I was just wondering, there is, in the one that you just showed, there's a Heart of Ellsworth logo at the top and the bottom of the grouping. Is that how it will always appear?
No, not necessarily. The bottom one in one of the examples was actually a spec ad that we played around with yesterday for Heart of Ellsworth to, if Heart of Ellsworth wanted to purchase an ad, that then could link to that map and a directory. What I was thinking about is a way to open the window a little further for Heart of Ellsworth. So it's just an idea.
Sarah, does that answer your question?
Thank you.
No, excellent. All right, Michael. Thank you for being here.
Hi, thank you for having me here. Yeah, I haven't been up to Ellsworth this year yet. We used to live there for 3 years, and it was just an awesome community. Raised our kids up on. We were just talking about Larry's Bakery and how I remember the last day that it was open. It was so sad. But it was just a great community. I love the library, and I especially love the downtown area. It's somewhere that, you know, you have so many just great events that are going on and brings the community together. So I did some work with Leslie about 2 years ago. We were putting together kind of a little bit of a special section for the Down East Passage. And we did 2 issues of that, and everybody seemed to be very happy about that. And so when Kara called me, I think it was about 1.5 years ago, I was just excited to bring what we knew and learned from that project to a little bit closer in the community. And there was always like, well, can we expand on that too? You know, can we involve everybody, but maybe differently, because you just definitely have your different business groups. So, but my primary focus today is going to be the Heart of Ellsworth and what we can offer. And this is all just the basics. We will come together and put out there whatever works for you. If you wanted to do this just digitally or online, or if you want to do it in print online, we can sculpt anything and make any type of custom project that works for you. So what I'm going to present to you is just our basic standard print cooperative type advertising that we've done in the past, and I'll give you my opinion on that. So I'm going to share my screen right now and then go. Oops. I tried to make it large and it disappeared. Let me try that again. Where did it go? Is anybody seeing it? Because I don't see it anymore.
I see a picture of the Earth taken from space.
Yeah, it just disappeared.
Is it that co-op slides that's right there on the screen? You probably can't.
Yeah.
Can you double click that? Will that open?
Can.
There you go.
See, I tried to, oh, let me go here. There we go.
Yep.
All right. Heart attack here. So this is something that we did last year. I just wanted to give you the current ones. This is kind of like the Rolls Royce of what we do for regional advertising. This is actually the MDI section that's called a special section. And so Booth Bay is also a special section. And these came out to about 16 pages complete that were bound into the magazine. And the Booth Bay one, we had a sponsor and they did an overrun. And this actually turned into a Chamber of Commerce supplement that they used all last year, and they're going to use again this year. We overran the copies by like 3,200 copies, and they're great promotional pieces. The Chamber is mailing them out all year round. So, and we did all the printing, and it was just pretty much, I went out and talked to the Chamber and all the local businesses, and they said, yeah, let's move forward on this. And it was just a great success. Same with the MDI too. So just a little bit about Down East Magazine. We've been the magazine of Maine going on 65 years. And our demographics and our subscribers are tried and true. And right now we have 60,000 subscribers. That's going up. We used to have a little bit more newsstand sale copies, but with COVID, that when all the stores were like limiting how many people were in there, and some closed down, like hotels were like not carrying our magazine. So that went down a little bit, but our subscribers are increasing. you'll see that we have, this is just an average of all year. We have about 38, just over 38,000 people that received the copy in Maine, and then 37,600 distributed outside of Maine. Now in June through October, that in-state number goes up to about 52,000 because people have summer homes or they spend extended times here. So, and the key is 91% of this is paid circulation. So 91% of our magazines that we distribute, people pay for and they want it. It's not a free handout that they just pick up. So they are actually paying to read Down East Magazine. So, and then I do also want to point out readers per copy. We average about 4.45 readers that actually look through each copy of the magazine. So the total readership estimation is over 337,000. So, and the magazines stick around for months. So the demographic, and you can look at this closer. I'm not going to dive into it and go over everything, but you know, it's a more affluent reader. They usually have second homes, or they'll spend a week or two, you know, at one of the nice resorts or hotels, or and they're really devoted to Maine because we have a 72% subscription renewal rate, and this is like well beyond any other regional publication because we are a member of the Regional Publication Association in all around the country, and they can't believe how high our subscription renewal rate is. So, and these are family after family, generation after generation that's coming to Maine. So this, going back to the special sections, this is kind of one of the promo pieces. This is a promo piece that I did for Mount Desert Island last year. And the reason I did this is I found out there was some editorial talking about about Acadia National Park. And I thought to myself, you know, we're going to cover the park, but people want to know where to stay on the island. And I said, why don't we talk about the different styles and the different flavors of each town? Because Bar Harbor is, you know, the active area. Some people call it a little bit more touristy. I happen to love it there. I think it's just electric and a lot of energy. And then Southwest Harbor is a little bit in between, but still has a great downtown. And then Northeast Harbor, or Mount Desert, is a little bit more quiet and people don't know what to expect. So I said, why don't we just do a town guide? And then I worked with Mickey Sumner, who used to be the Ellsworth chamber director. And she's like, this is a great idea. Let's put it together. So about 6 months in advance, I got the okay to start this advertising section. And as you'll see, a full page is $2,500. A half page was $1,265. And a quarter page is $695. Now, this is a lot higher. I just want to explain some of the pricing. You know, I think Kelly's ad starts at $31.25, and that's a week. And a comparable price, I would say, is her 5 by 4 inch. I think it's called a 2-column, and that's like $200 a week. So that would be comparable to our quarter page, which is $695 a month. So I just want to say that, just remind you that this is a monthly price for an advertisement. So here's an example of that MDI section. The special section, we always work with editors, and the editors will interview the chamber of director, gallery owners, business, you know, leaders in the different regions, and they'll actually write a story about that region. And in this case, this was Bar Harbor. We also covered Tremont. We also covered Cranberry Islands. And all this editorial is supported by advertising. You'll see FT Brown, you know, Acadia Institute of Oceanography and Destination Health. We had, you know, I think this special section was 6 pages of editorial and like 5 pages, 5.5 pages of ads. So the ads actually pay for the special section. So that's kind of like how publications work. We always do an ad count. How many ads do we have in the magazine? And then we shape the magazine, or the, you know, in case newspapers do it too, and they know how much editorial to add. So it's always the ads driving the size of the publication in our case. So here is a more, a smaller, a little bit lower cost. Actually, it's about the same cost way to attempt this. This is your standard co-op example. This is completely different than a special section. And I'm hoping I'm not moving on too fast from that special section, but I'll follow up. The co-op is basically very similar to like any type of newspaper grouping or co-op. I think you said there were, was it modular ads? So these are just modular ads. We take a full page, we split the cost up. Let's say if it's a full page of $2,500. So $2,500, we get 5 ads. So each business pays $500, and that splits the cost. And on the top, you see that the Damascotta Region Chamber of Commerce got their website link and some business information, and that's kind of a thank you for helping promote this. Now, another direction, and I like this a lot more, because if you see Damascotta Region Chamber of Commerce co-op ad, that only promotes businesses. It doesn't do anything really about driving people to be like, oh, I want to go there. So I talked to Deer Isle a couple of years ago, and they're like, we just want to do a small, simple co-op, and we only have like $300 each, and we want a full page, and it's going to promote the chamber, and it's going to promote the businesses that are really going to make this page happen. So we put together this nice Deer Isle co-op. I think each business paid $325. We split the price of the full page. I billed each business directly, and the Deer Isle Stonington Chamber of Commerce got nice promotion. They did this like for 3 months, and I thought this photo was just kind of captured and made me want to go there. And so this co-op, Deer Isle, is promoting the region rather than the businesses, although the businesses have their name and the website. And I think it's a pretty clean looking ad, and it's very visual, easy to see. So I love those type of co-ops. So here's the difference between the special sections and the co-op process. So the special sections are 4 to 6 month lead time. It's going to be a little bit tight for the fall if we decided to do a special section with editorial about downtown Ellsworth, which we would love to do. That would be great. So the regional business leaders, we work with regional business leaders, which would be Cara. And then we'd send the editorial team to talk to her, and then she'd say, oh, you want to interview this person? Oh, you want to interview this person? And we'll interview like up to 6 people. And then we'll, actually, I'm jumping ahead. We try to get a direction of the story first. It can't be a self-promotion story. It can't be like, oh, just come to downtown Ellsworth because we have the best downtown in Maine. We have to tell maybe the history of it. We can tell why it's so special, but it can't be just a straight out advertisement editorial. Basically, it has to read like an article. So, and because our readers will really know if they're getting tricked into like an advertorial. They'll be like, oh, no, but they want facts. They want history. So if we can easily formulate that for you, we'll actually come up and work with you on that process. So then our Down East content editor, Jen Van Allen, would come up, and Cara would say, you want to interview these 5 people or these 10 people. And we'd ask you for photographs. And then Jen, over a 1 month period, would probably go up there, and then she'd interview people. And we'd start putting all those pieces together to make it look like a real article, including the photographs. We can actually send Ben Williamson up there too, if the timing's right. And Ben is just like, if you know Ben, he's probably one of the most well-known photographers in New England, definitely in Maine. So having Ben shoot Ellsworth, downtown Ellsworth, would be really fun.
Michael, I just have a quick question for you, just to enhance what you just said.
Sure.
He came last summer and did a special section page where he interviewed right?
It wasn't necessarily a special section.
Right. But it was some sort of, I think at least a page.
Yeah, it was more editorial. I wish darn, I should put that in here. So I'll send it around. I'll get a PDF of that and send it to you.
Great. Thank you.
So yeah, that was, see, I never know what editorial is doing. We're completely separated. It's like a church and state thing. So sometimes they just come up and do things that I don't even know about. So they don't necessarily want editorial sales selling against editorial because they want to keep their editorial like very specific and kind of pure, like uninfluenced by ad sales. And that's the way our magazine works. So with the special section, we kind of know this is happening, and it's the one opportunity that we can sell advertising space in order to get an article written. But like I said, the article has to be a legitimate article that our readers would go, wow, I can't believe that about downtown Ellsworth, or wow, I'm glad that was in the magazine. We're going to go there. It has to be that type of feeling. So about 2 or 3 months in advance, I would come up and walk around the downtown Ellsworth area and work with Kara in order to sell advertising space. So, and that really gives me an idea of how large that special section can be. We usually book it in pages of 4, 8, 12, 16. So it's usually about 50% ads, 50% editorial. So we really need to know that well in advance in order to map it out. If we get a back page sponsor, a lot of times, sometimes we'll get a back page sponsor, and that's $3,600 to sponsor the back page. We do the overrun and we bind it and print it and then give it to the chamber. And that works out really well for a publicity piece. Now, the only thing that we ask is that 5 pages of advertising be attained, or we need to reach that goal in order to do an 8 to 10 page special section or 12-page special section. So, and usually 2 to 3 months, 2 months in advance, we'll know if we hit that goal. And that's why I say, spring next year for a special section would be just wonderful because we have so much time to get there. And I'll speed through the standard co-op right now too. So the standard co-op is that Damascotta right here, or the Deer Isle. And that only needs a 2-month lead time. And I would work with either the chamber, or depending on where you want to go with it. If you want it to be specifically just the heart of Ellsworth, then I'd work with Kara. And then we would, 2 months before the issue date, let's say we're going to do it in September, I'd come up there in probably July, and then we'd talk to different businesses, and I'd have a price that, a promo sheet that was already sent out a month in advance or 2 months in advance. And then all we need is that single page, and it can go, larger. It can go larger, like 2 or 3 pages. I think Boothbay Harbor, I'm working on one right now that's going to go probably 6 pages of co-ops. So once again, the co-ops have that they can be an advertising grid or modular ads, and that promotes individual businesses, or co-ops can feature a photo of the region with a list of sponsoring businesses. So basically, beautiful glamour picture and the businesses that made it happen. Come visit the businesses that supported this co-op. So that works out pretty well. And then we can do that, put it up online too. So here's your typical advertising costs. We've covered that before. A full page is going to be about $2,500. A half page is going to be about $1,300. A quarter page is $695. I can bring in other sizes too, like a 1/6 of a page. Actually, it says co-op only, but I can do that for a special section too. So a lot of times $695 is a big budget for a month. So I'm willing to work with everybody up there and actually come up with, a couple special sizes and put them in there with advance notice, because I have to let our production team know and our ad director. So, and prices are similar for either a special section or a co-op. Here's some of the incentives for the business leaders. So the leading organization, let's say the Heart of Ellsworth, if for a co-op, we'll give like a quarter page horizontal or vertical for helping to promote the special section or the co-op with a special section. If we get 5 to 6 pages, I have no problem upgrading that to a half page. So they get this great incentive. And the one thing I want to bring up too is with the special section, our editorial department uses it as content on the web. It gets sent everywhere. It gets sent all through social media, and the amount of exposure is almost triple of what the print is. So if we can organize a special section, remember there's really no price between co-op and special section, then you're going to get triple the amount of traffic, the amount of exposure. So, and I just want to give you, I'm going to exit out of this and just give you a quick flip through of what a special section looks like in print. And I won't chat about it too much, but let me see if this, so there's the opening page. Oops, wrong one. It looks like that's just a cover. Here's the quarter pages. I'll show you the quarter pages. That's kind of like what some of the quarter pages modular ads look like. So they're a nice size. And here's some of the editorial. Let me see if I can find that. MDI. Here it is. So keep in mind that these are pages and spreads bound into the magazine. So this will be your opener. And there's the second 2 pages. So this editorial was written specifically for this special section, and Ben did all these photos. And then so now we move into Southwest Harbor, and then Treemount, Cranberry Isles, spread of ads, MDI. If you notice right up in the corner, you'll see special advertising section. And then there's the last page. Let's see. So if we can arrange a special section and give it time, be patient with it, and then get everybody on the same page, that would be amazing. If we can't, that's okay too. We have other products that we can promote the area. The co-ops are great. The only thing that's missing is editorial, and editorial is really drives home people visiting the area. So let me know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Michael. I think we can open up now for any questions as folks have them. And no question is a foolish question. We haven't really done this in this way before, so feel free to ask.
I have a question.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I didn't know if you could hear me. So Kelly, on the, before I ask a question, Michael, it's nice to see you here. And I've worked with Michael on a bunch of different projects for probably about as long as he's worked at Down East. But the most recent one, which was just before the COVID year started, but a group of us, I had organized it, and it was a group of people, of businesses from I named it the Down East Passage. So it was Hancock up to Eastport, and it was all sorts of businesses that went down the different peninsulas, but we all bought ads. I think there were 14 of us that went in on that. And these guys did a really great job with the sponsored content. It was really well done. And we did that in the May issue, which is your vacation issue, I think. And then in the July issue, which was the one you call summer issue. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. but Michael and I started working on it like back in September or something.
And then we
Like, we
came up,
worked on it.
Jen came up, I think, in January or something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah. But it was really fun working on that project. And I've envisioned we kind of want to do the Down East Passage again, but then there was this idea, maybe we should include Ellsworth in it. You know, it's just a lot of different thoughts, but sponsor content and the way that Down East does it is it's a very nice program. So, but Kelly, I just have a couple questions for you about the EA. And you didn't mention Out and About. Are there advertising things for that we could do for
Absolutely.
downtown? Okay.
Absolutely. I didn't
Okay.
mention that. We do groupings. It's just that it's not the same price point, you know.
Right.
I just
Got it.
wanted to keep it.
Yep.
Yes, there are options. And I was kind of
Okay.
giggling when Michael was talking. Our flexibility sometimes becomes, we have that same flexibility of what works, and sometimes that gets overwhelming in a group setting because we want to do, you know, some personal modifications. Oh, sorry.
Leslie, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry.
That's okay.
If you could give me for the EA,
Yeah.
what the weekly like subscription
Yep.
and then the weekly readership, how you guys come up with that?
Yeah, so ours is a little different. Ours, the average is 2.5. People read each copy. When we start out in this season, so like the first few groupings for last year, the actual numbers were, I looked them up and wrote them down, and they were 8,700 for the first couple of weeks for the Ellsworth American, and then that's for the print, and then we did jump up to the 9,210 for that July, August.
So that's for readership. What's the
Those are the
subscriber?
copies. Those are the
Oh, okay.
copies that go out.
Okay. Yep.
And then the digital really hovers just under 2,000. You know, consistently. That's the word I'm looking for. Consistently.
Yep.
And people
Okay.
read that digitally. And that's the digital version is truly, you know, where you open up either your app or your browser and flip the pages, not just the website version. So I just want to make that differentiation. So there is some change in numbers between that Memorial Day through Father's Day, and then Father's Day through Labor Day really is the next steady batch.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
And then Sarah, it looks like you have a question. Oh, you have your hand raised.
There we go. I was about to say I wasn't smart enough on my phone to unmute it.
We're all
Okay.
there.
I can't see anybody. Hold on.
We can hear you.
Oh, good. Okay, perfect. So here, very quick question, both to Michael and Kelly. I was wondering if there's any opportunities for online or social media, internet advertising grouping only, and if if that is an option. I am a paper subscriber. Well, actually, I am a news girl receiver of the Ellsworth American, which I love having a real life paper girl that brings me the paper. It's the greatest part of my Wednesday. I'm not going to lie. But I kind of miss out on the ability. I think I probably need an online subscription too, because I find myself very often on social media clicking to read an article or an advertisement, and I've used my 3 subscriptions, right? Or my 3 opportunities to read the article. I find myself spending a lot of money for internet and social media advertising. I have advertised many different ways in print, and I don't seem to see the actual return as far as the conversation of, yes, I saw your advertisement, as often in print as I do on social media. So I wondered if there was any opportunities for groupings online as a co-op. I really like the thought of being able to advertise as a group, not just because of cost, but because I think it brings awareness to our area, and that it isn't just come to, I'm not to throw anybody under the bus, but come to our Whole Foods John Edwards grocery store is really great, but there's also many other things on the street that you may not see. And I do think that there is a giant opportunity to do so. So I just wondered if that was an option available for any of us.
I'll jump in. That is one of the conversations that led to this Zoom. Cara and I chatting earlier in the year as to how that would look. That hasn't been designed. We've done it. I shouldn't say that. We have done it a couple of times, event specific so far. So the Flamingo Festival, the various events. And just sort of how that works for folks, whether it is, a tile ad that then leads to the larger promotion, or whether, we've done lots of single digital promotions. The way that we have some limitations with how they appear on the website, or how we push them out. And so making sure we don't water it down too far has been something we've been sensitive about. But we do have a couple of examples, and that is really where part of this conversation started with Cara, as far as partnering with, in this case, the conversation has been partnering with Heart of Ellsworth specifically, and then being able to branch out from there and get into individual business promotion. Whereas the paper has been taking individual business promotion and gathering it together to say, look at us. So nothing that we have, sell sheets or mechanical requirements for just yet, but certainly you're on to our conversation for sure. Thank you.
That is a good question. Thanks for asking. We can do anything to promote that, either the special section or the co-op. It's always great to have the special section because it's considered editorial with advertising. The co-op is just considered, the standard co-op is just considered advertising. Anything that our editors write is, even if it's paid, it's still editorial. So let me just share my screen again. What you're going to see is some digital results of a sponsored content piece, which is like a special section, except for smaller, that we did for the Kents Hill School. So our editors saw this piece that was paid advertising, but it had actual story. And they said, oh, digital content, let's send it everywhere. So let me share that screen again, and you'll see the numbers. So here we go. So this just happened in November, and then I followed up with giving them the results that is online. So this was a 2-page article, sponsored content, all about why people should visit or send their children to the Kents Hill School. So we basically took that 2-page sponsored content and put it on Facebook, put it on Twitter, put it on Instagram. So and these were the reactions. So the reach was just shy of 10,000 people. And the impressions, it was seen, at least the article and the name was seen 18,000 by 18,000 people. There were 72 link clicks, 39 likes, and 3 comments, 10 shares. Twitter, same analytics. IG, a little bit lower than Facebook. Just sometimes Instagram just explodes more than Facebook, but I think in this case, the people they are, marketing to were real Facebook users. So, and then here we go again. We did it again, another 8,000. Twitter, 713. Instagram, 4,200. I still don't know what a sticker tap is. I need to find out what that is. And then here's on our web. This is all only since November. So their sponsored content piece has had 1,500 page views. Average time on that page, this is huge. Most people will get like 60 seconds on a page. So 2 minutes and 2 minutes and 35 seconds. That means that 1,500 people probably read it all the way through. We also sent it direct to subscribers because we have 32,000, we have 36,000 subscribers. The open ratio, 25%. We put it in we have a bunch of e-newsletters we sent it to, and here's all the data for that. So I should have totaled the digital. So so to answer your question, we're gonna, whatever we do, we have the capability to send it to, all our digital subscribers. And there's a bit of overlap on that too. So they're going to see it in print, they're going to see it digitally. And like I said, whatever you want, we can customize it, but I don't think it's going to be in the sense of, let's say we have 10 businesses that jump into a co-op or a special section. We're not necessarily going to take all 10 businesses and give 10 social media spots to each business, because we charge like $500 per slot, unless that's built in. I can create a custom program, but whatever we do, we can get it out to our digital social media and all those channels. So we just need to talk about it up front, so the expectations are reached.
And we can certainly, work with Michael and even come to the downtown to poll folks, what it is that they're interested in, so that we can custom tailor and get everybody what it is that they want, or try to satiate as many of you as we possibly can. And I think that working with the Ellsworth American in the same way. We have 2 minutes left, and I do have a couple of announcements at the end for folks. So if there are any other questions, feel free to ask them now.
I just have a 2-second idea I just wanted to throw out. And hi, Michael, we used to work together in my real estate days, so it's nice to see you again. With the Ellsworth American, jumping off the Down East design I loved, with the sense of place with Deer Isle and the businesses. I think that's really lovely, and it certainly appeals to my own aesthetic. But I was thinking for the Ellsworth American, that might be nice. I know it's subjective, but sometimes all the different businesses, logos and all of that feel a little overwhelming to me visually, and I just sort of, I kind of scan over it. Personally, but I was thinking if we had a gorgeous image of downtown Ellsworth and then did a listing, maybe even more people could participate, and maybe break it down with like the call to action, eat, like Heart of Ellsworth does on their website, eat, shop, play, whatever the things that we could come up with. That might be kind of a nice way to welcome people to downtown and give that sense of place and more of a cool shot of our downtown, and maybe circulate different images if we had a little repository of those. So just an idea to throw out that came to me, because I did love that on the Down East side. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. That's a great idea. I like that.
I just have one quick idea.
Yeah.
Instead of us having some of that, us controlling the digital part, maybe Kara can set up some type of landing page. I mean, that's more work on you, where we drive traffic to you and you control the messaging, and we do it as well. So, and maybe it's Ellsworth American too, so just an idea moving forward of working together as a community, and everything's on the table. So
yeah, no, that's also a great idea, and I think something that could completely be talked about. And of course, but all of this kind of gets driven by the folks who are interested in participating and what they want, because we want to ultimately be getting the downtown businesses what works for them. And it sounds like all three of us are so flexible in the way that would be accomplished. So I just have 2 final announcements if there's no other questions. Okay. One announcement is our newsletter goes out at the beginning of next week. So if you folks have some news that you would like us to include in our newsletter, you can either email me directly, or you can go in and actually go onto our website and onto our news page, and there's a submission form on there. And you're more than welcome to use that submission form and send that along, and then also send us a square format photo, and we'll make sure that your announcement gets into our newsletter. We're putting that out next Monday, which is the 1st. So we would need to have that within the next couple of days in order to make our deadline, our internal deadline for that. And then the second thing is our next Zoom at Noon program is going to be for the month of March. It's going to be on the 25th, so Friday the 25th. And we have a professional grant writer that's coming on to do a session, sort of an informational session with some grant opportunities as well that are specifically targeted for profit businesses. So that person is going to come on and they're going to give some tips and tricks and kind of help you guys frame up different projects that are inside your business that you would like to have grant funding for. And then she'll also give some resources of where those grants are and kind of help you figure out how to frame your asks. And there are a lot of for-profit grants out there now as a result of COVID. It's something that is sort of a real thing, and it's an opportunity for all of you. And we just see now that there's a little bit of a gap. Small business owners prior to COVID didn't really have to have that tool in their toolkit. And now we're realizing that grant writing and how to frame things up and resources and all of that is something that you folks probably need. And so we want to do our best to help you get in the right frame of mind to be able to make the most of those opportunities as they come. And we try to always send out 1 or 2 whenever we find them to you. So hopefully that will be helpful. So Friday, the 25th of March at noontime, and we will be working on getting you more information in the meantime about that. And it looks like there's something in the chat. Oh, just someone saying they had to leave. So thank you everybody for being on here. Feel free to email, and have a great afternoon.
Great. Thank you. Thanks, Kelly and Michael.
Yeah,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you very much. Have a great snowstorm.
Happy snow day.
Happy snow day.